with my man Travis. He's the
We are into it. First of all, we are going to end all sanctuary cities.
And let me be very clear. If you don't comply with federal law, you're going to be next.
Governor Cox also cites a memo that Bernanke's office issued a memo calling Utah a sanctuary state.
And authorities in Salt Lake City, Utah are now warning that the violent Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua is operating in their city. They have now linked the gang to recent shootings and also assaults. Investigators are warning here the gang runs a human smuggling ring, forcing girls and young women migrants into prostitution.
New tonight after questions from 2 News, Harriman police now confirm a shooting was linked to the Venezuelan gang known as Tren de Aragua. It's our top story tonight on 2 News at 6. I'm Mark Cabell.
And I'm Heidi Hatch. The acknowledgement also follows an exclusive 2 News interview in which a top state investigator said the Venezuelan gang is here in Utah.
Tonight, another protest over the Trump administration's taking shape here in Utah, this time up in Ogden.
Dozens of people today gathering at the municipal building in Ogden to protest the Trump administration's.
Some moments ago, the U.S. designating Tren de Aragua, TDA, and other cartels as global terrorist organizations.
I think Sunday's success kind of speaks for itself. I mean, we took 13 people off the streets. 6 of those were arrested by DEA from ongoing active DEA investigations targeting drug traffickers. Of those total 13, ICRO took a number of those folks as well. 4 of those, I believe, were TDA gang members. So,
alleged members of a dangerous cartel recently designated as a foreign terrorist organization are off the streets after being arrested in Salt Lake City.
ABC4's Jordan Tracy spoke with the DEA about these arrests. Joins us live with more on who these alleged gang members are. Hey, Jordan.
O'Brien and Sarah, the DEA and ICE made arrests this weekend that included 4 members of El Tren de Aragua, a cartel recently labeled by the State Department as a foreign terrorist group.
Is the president happy with the number of arrests?
I'm not.
But yeah, going after the Pope, but not Nelson? What the hell? I'm handing you this on a silver platter, Trump. And you are not taking it. It was bad enough that Biden's administration failed with lame duck AG Merrick Garland. But now Pam Bondi? You're just talking the talk, Pam? Come on. I gave it to you. See something, say something. Just obeying the law. And so, Pam instead is letting criminals go free by refusing to prosecute crime, which is a crime in the laws itself. Right, Salt Lake Police Chief Brown? Again, I gave him everything on the church. He has been told of a crime in progress that he himself knows. He knows all about it. He knows the church is criminal. He knows the church has to be dissolved again and that they need to be prevented from transferring the money to somebody else to declare bankruptcy so that Mormons get screwed. He knows all this. And yet, he's refusing to do his job. And thus, it's like giving aid and comfort to the enemy. You're aiding and abetting in criminal activity when you refuse to prosecute or arrest.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Evans. We begin tonight with breaking news. Salt Lake City Police Chief Mike Brown is stepping down. After 33 years on the force, he announced his retirement in an email this afternoon.
This is breaking news on 2 News at 5.
Breaking news out of Salt Lake City. Mayor Mendenhall's office saying that Police Chief Mike Brown will retire at the end of the month.
We are digging deeper tonight into the revelation from Salt Lake City's mayor that she forced the police chief to step down.
We're now getting a better idea of the discontent that may have led to the chief's departure. News specialist Brian Carlson is live with what we're learning. Brian?
Well, Mike and Deanie, on this Valentine's Day, there is a lack of love between the mayor and the police chief and the city and state leaders.
It was not a voluntary resignation, instead a firing. Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall today saying that she forced out Chief Mike Brown.
I'm Fox 13 investigative reporter Nate Carlisle at the state capitol. It was supposed to be an announcement about who's running the 2034 Winter Olympics. But Salt Lake City Mayor Erin Mendenhall made news when she said it was her decision to change police chiefs.
Yes, this was my decision.
After a life of dedication to public service, finally putting down the badge makes for a difficult decision.
This is a calling. This is, for some people an identity.
Retired Deputy Chief of Police Chris Bertram understands those conflicting feelings all too well.
There's more sand in the bottom of my hourglass than in the top. And there may be a time to go out and enjoy, what we have left.
Still, Bertram was taken aback by the abrupt nature of Salt Lake City Police Chief Mike Brown's departure.
I remember when I put my letter in to retire, it was 4 months. I was going to give the city where I was serving as the chief plenty of time to pick my replacement.
He says he's known Chief Brown for all of his 3+ decades in law enforcement.
We've got a lot of development downtown. We've got a new crime plan.
And believes that institutional knowledge of a major city isn't easy to replace.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Salt Lake City is at a critical turning point for public safety. It's a place that demands new leadership. It demands leadership that can meet this moment with urgency and with a proven track record of incredible collaboration. Today, I'm naming Brian Redd as my selection for Salt Lake City's next police chief.
Bob, just a little while ago, we found out that Mayor Mendenhall is nominating Brian Redd to be the next chief of the Salt Lake City Police Department.
Just 1 week after Salt Lake City's police chief was forced to resign, Mayor Erin Mendenhall has announced his replacement.
News specialist Shara Part joins us from the City County building with the details. Shara?
Hey, Mike and Deanie, good evening to you. Mayor Erin Mendenhall has chosen Brian Redd, the executive director of the Department of Corrections, to be the new leader of the Salt Lake City Police Department, making that announcement today. Now, Redd comes into this role with more than 2 decades of experience in public safety, from serving as a trooper to leading the State Bureau of Investigation. Mayor Mendenhall says Redd was her top pick for this job because he knows the city's unique landscape and is willing to dig in on the front line. She says he has a proven track record of bringing people together to solve big issues.
And I will work tirelessly with the community as well to be a good listener, to understand the issues, to build trust, and serve in a manner that respects the values of this community.
Redd's appointment comes at a time when Salt Lake City is under state pressure to address major issues like drug cartels and homelessness, as well as mental health in the city. Redd says he has 4 areas he plans to focus his attention while trying to address these issues: department functionality, officer and community safety, he talked about collaboration across multiple agencies and then looking towards innovation. He says he wants to hear from officers on the front line, and he wants to hear how they are addressing those issues and what he can do to support them. Now, Red's appointment will now need to be approved by the Salt Lake City City Council. That meeting is scheduled for March 4th.
Do you know what Kash Patel called the January 6 rioters? Political prisoners. What he has asked for is retribution, and he has called for it over and over again against, let me see here, he wants to come after any anti-Trump conspirators.
Travis, you're a year too late.
Travis Wayne gets home. Wasn't that just cute? I'm assuming, of course, I put it in the video. I made the whole thing set up for it. We'll see. What are you talking about, Travis? What are you talking about? So, Trump Eyes 2025. It's the end of the world. It's the zombie apocalypse. We're all gonna die. Not even preppers prepped for this. So, yeah, Sister Mendenhall has appointed a new sheriff in town. Support your local sheriff. Awesome. And of course, we're talking about spiritual religious nepotism in Utah. He's full, loyal, prostituting his wife, Mormon. Sister Mendenhall both is prostituted and prostitutes her husband because she gets paid to be mayor, right? It's not just a Barbie doll calling. And so, yeah, it was very sick and disgusting that he was fawning over her. He knows he owes her. She owns him. She selected him, groomed him to be who she wants him to be. The perfect husband. Of whom she'll complain about. You're not doing it right. I'm trying. Sad memories on the corner of memory. And so, yeah, he's full Mormon. Not the borderline Mormon of Chief Brown. And so I was able to connect him to Harold J. Reed's obituary. He died August 5th, 2023. He's the father. And in that obituary, that's where I make the connection that he's a faithful and true Mormon. Because this is the obituary about their father. And they're the ones saying that he was ultra elite faithful to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so they're projecting onto their father what they themselves want him to be seen as, and thus want themselves to be seen as. Beam and mode, beam and mode. And I'm sure he was. He prostituted his wife loyally to the church. Pimp Daddy Nelson. I've been using that one for a long time. That's not new. Somewhere in my files I've got a picture of Pimp Daddy Nelson. Not just the one where he's posing with Pete Diddy, Trump, and Epstein. Live photo, it's real, not AI, not, what was it before? Photoshop. Before AI came out. Not photoshopped whatsoever, because I don't do AI. I mean, dear God. I mean, it requires that I find an app and then figure out how to work it. That takes time. And you got all these Christian terrorists who are hovering over these apps to send cyber terrorism to anybody who dares download the app. So, such is the way it is. Such is the way it is. But yeah, I did watch the Quantum Leap reboot season 2 episode of Operation Paperclip. I told you, I warned you, you didn't listen, here we are, Nazis are taking over, getting revenge for World War II. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in charge of it all, weaponizing everybody, getting the band back together again for the latter days, to get their kingdom back. So, ICE is still handcuffed in Utah. Governor Cox will not allow ICE to do their job, according to Trump. And with the Sunday arrests of 13, see, Utah's doing it. We're doing it. We're not a sanctuary state. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. It was the DEA that had to step in. Cox forgot to shut them down. But nonetheless, only 13. Only 13. And only 4 of them were the Venezuelan gang. We got them. Church is true. Zion is safe. We got 4. In case you missed it, Trump designated them as terrorists. And they're here in Utah, and they're being supported by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because Nelson came out and said, we do. We don't give a damn about their immigration status. Oh, dear God. Yep, we just had 4. That's how scary it was. 4 people. They're gone now. They're caught. We got them. All is well on Zion. Move along. Keep paying the prostitution price for your wives. Hilarious. But in listening to this crap in the news, They're talking only about criminals. They are not talking about what Trump demanded. It's like they didn't even listen to his inauguration speech. They didn't listen to his executive orders. It's not about just criminals, because Trump defines a criminal as anyone who's breaking the law. And if you're here illegally, if you're not a citizen, you're illegal, and thus a criminal. That's Trump's definition. And deep state, Dem states, and Utah are all claiming, yes, we want criminals gone from our state. We're complying. No, you're not. There are over 600,000 in just Utah who gotta go. You're at BYU from another country? Bye. You're an Islamic terrorist sleeper cell refugee? Bye. You're an undocumented? Bye. Nobody is allowed in the United States unless you're a full, legitimate citizen. If you're a birthright baby, no, out. It was illegally obtained, you're out. All of these terrorists coming in, having babies in America. So cute. Turbo. That was my favorite of theirs. And nobody is getting this. And Utah specifically is not wanting to get this because it got leaked. Utah is a sanctuary city. And I've told you why. It's because Hinckley, way back in the day, obviously, he's dead, had a leadership meeting in which he told them, and we only learned of it from leaking, because people then went and spread the word of the living prophet of Jesus, that he said that in the coming years, those from Mexico, those south of the border, will outnumber whites in Utah. And nobody thought that that would ever be true. But the living prophet of Jesus said it. He was talking about current rates of people coming into Utah waiting for processing for documentation. But, you know, Mormons love to expand upon the words of the living prophet. Where are those Mormons now after Nelson? In the coming day, Jesus! Where are you now, guys? Where are you now? Are you still talking about it? No? Why not? Because you don't believe Trump is Jesus. That's why. You got punked. This is just so horrifyingly laughable. And so, because of this, the church, Utah government, has readily accepted other people into Utah to self-fulfill this made-up, self-fulfilling prophecy of Gordon B. Hinckley. That's how Mormons work. That's their mental thinking process. They've got to make stuff up to prove the church is true. Yeah. Because the prophets do not give prophecies. They do not reveal dates. of coming prophecies. They've made that an official statement, and yet Mormons ignore that and create prophecies where there are none. And it's real sad and pathetic that all Mormons had to do was simply run the test. Is the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith Christian? No. Okay, so the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is lying to us and therefore false. Therefore, everything they say, everything they do, it's a sin. But we're using Motorhead in the theme song in the description below because of the Kia song, Kia commercial. And I did the Ghost cover band version of that. That one's a pretty good one too. Maybe I'll listen to that while I'm assembling this together. Ghost. It's a sin. Everything I ever do, everything I ever do, everyone's ever been, it's a sin. Pet Shop Boys. One of my top favorites back in high school. One. I had dozens. Because that's the way I was raised as a Mormon boy. Was given a clock radio for my parents' anniversary. A hand-me-down. And my dad purposely set it to the Dodger station on the AM dial. You see, kids, I noticed I've got more kids watching my channel now. And so I get to school that semester after the summer, and I talk about how I got a clock radio and listened to Dodger games. And they say, well, what music do you listen to? What do you like? What clique are you a part of? Huh? Music? Oh, that stuff on TV shows that I watch? Yeah, on the radio. What? Radio? Where? FM dial. Oh. And so I secretly, because I was worried that I would never find the Dodger station again. Snuck over to the FM dial and scanned the band, and so for me it was not, I'm a country western, I'm a metalhead, and it was new wave back then rather than alternative and pop and other stuff that teenagers didn't care about, classical, rap, because California and radio stations across the nation wanted nothing to do with rap, if you are aware of that scandal. And so, yeah, I chose what to listen to. And so if I didn't like a song, I changed this channel until I found a song that I did like. And so that's how I developed my musical appreciation. And audio synced, not lip synced. So it's not karaoke. As I recognized songs being played over and over again. And so I have a variety of tastes from every genre of music. Even rap. So, anyway, moving on. And so, Sister Mendenhall, what she's doing is doing the will of the church. She's only focused on homeless, because she was told to. And it's because of me. Because they're trying to kick me out of this place. They're trying all kinds of ways to get me. as they did in West Valley, and Gail Miller's concentration camp of hell of human trafficking, and 2008, and, oh God, they will not stop. And you'd think that would be a clue for Mormons, but nope. Jesus is coming. He's gonna hurt you, Travis. Really? I've already shown up Jesus numerous times. He ain't coming. He's scared of me. Alright, so now we can move on. And so it was sick and disgusting that Red was treating Sister Mendenhall as a wife and a lapdog rather than as a professional being appointed into a field with unbiased decision-making for his accomplishments rather than his obedience to Sister Mendenhall and her dominatrix fetish. Dear God, what a nightmare. She gives me nightmares. And so, yeah, her whole intention is not to obey Trump. Salt Lake City has a major Trump violation problem because the Venezuelan gang is here in Utah too, or in Salt Lake City too. And this comes after another after video of mine in which I again put out the call that Chief Brown's not finished till the end of the month, and so he has time to do his job to take down international terrorist criminal organization headquartered in Salt Lake City. Yeah, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Remember, we're not Christian, we're supposed to be Jewish. So the church prophets are false prophets according to the scripture test, even from that Bible. Plagiarized in the Book of Mormon in 3rd Nephi. And yet not a single Mormon will run the simple test to find out that they're false. And that's what they use against you, to keep you from studying, to keep you from using science as the scriptures tell you to use. And so Mormons remain in confusion and in bondage to the church. As Sister Mendenhall, she has no clue about the Danites and all this. Let's find out what her real name is, not her prostituted name is. My prostitution name is Mendenhall. And in case you missed it, for Thanksgiving 2023, when the Red Patriarch died, and when Red was appointed to be the leader of corrections, director of corrections, Aaron Mendenhall. You should have a Wikipedia page. Yes, you do. I saw the ring. You're keeping your name? Seriously? Seriously? What? And so, yeah, her father died when she was 7, from Hodgkin lymphoma. She was 14 years old, so that's tragic. And interesting, she is an apostate rebel. She graduated from the University of Utah. That's the devil's school. They betrayed Brigham Young. I've done that video. They ran out of money. Brigham Young hoarded it, spent it all. Some other guy had to buy it out. Let's see. She conducted air quality testing, internal auditing, stereogenics, which sterilizes medical equipment, and Utah Moms for Clean Air. How is that working out? Way to go, Sister Mendenhall. You failed at your early careers. In 2010, she went and co-founded a nonprofit, Breathe Utah, and die. She quickly realized she could more effectively fight for changes. And again, failed. We know her by her failures. And so, seriously, where's the family? And so, yeah, she's against LGBTQ. 2020 terrorist threat? You mean the Black Lives Matter protests? Ryan Outlaw, homelessness. Yep, we'll just follow the inspired Operation Rio Grande and lock them all up. Personal life, dear God. She's a Kylie LaMalfa member. Oh. What? You're a slut whore? Oh my God. Wait a minute. Okay, let's read this instead. It was reported in November 2014 that Erin Mendenhall and fellow council member Kyle LaMalfa were having an extramarital affair. She's an adulteress. Oh my God. That's why they won't have her husband. Why are you wearing a ring? She had a ring on. What the hell? What's going on? She and Malalfa discussed their relationship to City Attorney Margaret Plain, who stated there was no legal or ethical problems because they're both faithful Mormons, and Nelson did not order polygamy yet. That was not for another 5 more years. She and Malalfa later married. Oh. You can't trust her, dude. If she's gonna cheat on her husband, she's gonna cheat on you too. She's a slut whore. Oh my God. An adulterous slut whore. This is awesome. And so now he's the director of data science for Viva Financial. And how is that working for you? Failure. Oh my God. And so, yeah, it's now creepy that the recommended new police chief is fawning over her. Oh my God. Ugh. So now we gotta find this guy. Who is he? We got breaking news here. This is... Mormon government wives of Salt Lake City. Oh my God, this is just awesome gossip. Oh, yeah. We knew each other at the University of Utah. Oh, he owns properties. Yep, there it is. Building Salt Lake. Affordable housing to be built on properties owned by Kyle LaMalfa, a former West Side councilman from District 2 and husband now of Mayor Aaron Mendenhall. Oopsies. So let's get your photo, because they're trying to cover him up, but he is a public figure. I am still recording, right? I'm not frozen. Yeah, good. It seems like the employee has the yesterday and today off. Oh, he died 2012 to 2016. And there's the family that that's that the guy? Because that's pretty quick for 2014. I'm not, sort of looks like him. Yeah, because this is all that people care about, is sexual infidelity in the news and on TV shows. But it's bigger when they're Mormon. Oops. Malfa. Making Utah safe from sex offenders. She now has no claim to go after porn. You little slut whore. Prostituted and prostituting. This is awesome. Awesome. That's why you're so willing. And that you're keeping your original name, Mendenhall. So you are a Mendenhall. She is a direct descendant of the Danites. The Mendenhall Danite. Amazing. Alrighty. That question is now answered. And so yes, I can do it with any current Mormon. Trace you back. I have to redo this again from yesterday's video, I guess. Are you a direct Danite? Was your pioneer Mormon ancestor converted by a Danite? Was your pioneer Mormon ancestor turned to betray Joseph Smith to become a Danite? Or, which is not the case if you're in Utah, were you a faithful converted member of Joseph's religion and then framed and blamed by Danites for your unwillingness to be threatened by the Danites to become Danite? That's what you need to do when you're doing church history and genealogical research. Which one are you, Mormons? And so, yeah, I could do it with red, too. We're not. We're already at 32 minutes in. We haven't even touched the Trump news stuff yet. And I've got stuff to do. There's a Kia theft in progress. And so, yeah, you can see how this mentality of homeless equals criminal. Criminal equals violation of Trump's definition. No. It's the churches. This is why the church ordered Operation Rio Grande, and why they're ordering Sister Mendenhall to do this. Sister Slut Whore Mendenhall. Sorry. You committed the crime. You've got to now be exposed for time. Section 119 on tithing. This is why. Verily I say unto you, it shall come to pass that all those who gather unto the land of Zion, and Nelson says it's Utah, shall be tithed of their surplus properties, and shall observe this law, or they shall not be found worthy to abide among you. Do the homeless pay tithing? No. They are not found worthy to abide in Utah. That is the Mormon mentality of the homeless. They are not paying tithing, they're out. And thus, criminal. And thus, Operation Rio Grande was to lock them up. They had no plans of building shelters. It was only after Operation Rio Grande's failure and worsening of the problem that then they were forced to build another shelter. And they tried to deceive you and say, we're building 3 with a total of 700 beds. 3 is more than the 1 we had. That was 1,200. They took away 500 beds after making the problem worse. And so now we find out from last year there was a huge homeless crisis in Utah and across the nation, as now Utah has over 3,000 homeless. But this is not who Trump is focused on. Trump is focused on all who are not citizens. Those who are protecting those who are not citizens. Those who are illegal citizens. That's who Trump was going after. Remember Hitler, Nazi Germany. They're back and they got revenge. And the church is all for this. And yet, because of Gordon B. Hinckley, we're a sanctuary state. And so the church has compromised Sister Mendenhall for being a slut whore. They got her. And so the church owns her. That's why. That's why. As a direct descendant of a Danite, and she doing the right thing and divorcing her husband and remarrying the slut whore husband to have a mixed family, not their own, because a couple of the kids look older than the 2014 date of getting married, or cheating, and then eventually getting married. And so, yeah, she's broken. She is fully owned, not just through the prostitution price. Wow, I did not see that coming. And she should have. You guys who were watching my videos and reporting to the people you're reporting to. You should have known I would eventually have done the research to find out her history. You knew this was coming. I do it with all of them. And yet, somebody dropped the ball. They never learn. I am a simple guy, simple, open, transparent, very plain and pure and precious, that I'm against this evil, criminal, international terrorist organization. Have I not made that clear? I do the research. I've got the documents. I've got the recordings. I've got their leaks. I've got the receipts. I've done the connections, done the research, tied it all together. I know it all. And yet, they still fail to know me. Wow. I mean, Putin is just laughing. At least his agents attempt to research me. Even though they suck at their job too. I mean, dear God, Putin, what's going on? Are you going to have to fire the KGB director? Get somebody else who will do the job right? I mean, granted, nobody is as good as you, but my goodness. I mean, seriously. Russian reaches out through email, hand over your Paleo-Hebrew research. I haven't finished it yet. It's all in my head. I'm trying to get it out on paper. The church keeps having it destroyed. And so I eventually finish it, and he comes back, have you got it yet? Yeah, here it is. Academia. It's for free. Could have downloaded it. Thank you. And what did you want it for? I mean, is it to figure out your own Russian uniqueness language? You know, just ask. That X with the line down the middle? Yeah, that's the Cairo. All you had to do was ask. Don't threaten to take stuff from me. I just saw them on the website that I had. They were stealing the web pages. Just ask. I'm a religious guy. I'm not a top secret government organization or a corporation that has secrets, like the secret sauce at McDonald's for the Big Mac, which is just Thousand Island dressing. Shh. With some extra spices in it. No. I have nothing to hide. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is a religion. They're not supposed to be hiding things. They're not supposed to be covering things up. They're not supposed to be lying to us. But because they're this criminal international terrorist organization, that's why they're covering things up, hiding and lying. It is so blatantly obvious to anybody who just stops and looks at it. But people get fooled when the church says, religious freedom, Jesus. Oh yeah, I better obey you and pay the prostitution price for my slut whore wife. I'm never gonna let you live it down. You are mine. Awesome. Awesome. But you also see what I saw in my mother, of how my mother was so strict, so mean, so cruel and inhumane, so abusive in her thinking processes. is because apparently she too had done something wrong. Apparently it involved Elvis. Whereas Sister Mendenhall is a slut whore adulteress. And when that happens, people go to the extremes, thinking that that is repentance. No. And so I've seen it in Mormon woman after Mormon woman after Mormon woman after Mormon woman after Mormon woman. Abusive. Because they think they've done something horrible that they need to be abusive to repent of. No! You're not getting it. And so, yeah, this is a major scandal that I've just bombshelled again. Alrighty, and so, like I said, I did the video again about the other email to Brown. Month's not over yet. You still have time to do your job, because red is not being put in until March 4th, if the city council votes and approves them. That's when they're going to hold the meeting, apparently. So we got time. But if Brown becomes a lame duck chief judge, or chief police chief, till the end of the month, as all other threatened by the church, through the church, people are, then Red, if he is approved and takes over, will then be handed my emails. He then, as a faithful Mormon, except for that little incident in the press conference, be careful of her. You can't trust her. She's a wicked woman. Evil woman. Witchy woman. I saw that episode of Quantum Leap. The Salem Witch Trials. Yep. Adulteresses get burned. Even though it wasn't for adultery, she was apparently murdering people because the well was stagnant and thus was poisoning the people to kill them, because medicine is of the devil. And they made a boo-boo in that show. Magic is just science that we don't understand. No. No. How could you botch that quote? Science appears as magic to people who don't understand. Star Trek. Oh my God. But Quantum Leap is DEI, and Trump is going to ban all DEI in Hollywood. It's just unbelievable. And so, yeah, they had a specific show about the one guy, or the one sister in the episode, who clearly was trying to be trans. Blatantly. I caught it right at the very beginning when they're arguing over the father's will. And I'm just going, yeah, she wants to be called Dean rather than Dina because she's a guy. She thinks she's a guy. Hello? And they're not getting it. They still don't get it throughout the whole episode. And finally, at the end, she exposes herself to show the wrappings of flattening her breasts. And I'm just going, hello? I knew it. Yeah, Trump is going to do away with all DEI in Hollywood. You watch. If Trump watches a show with DEI characters, he's going to be furious. And he's going to demand that Hollywood be purged by ICE. Watch. You see, right now, he's watching those big action flicks, Serpico and Godfather, where if there is a trans in it, they have them murdered. And so Trump likes those shows. And so as long as he stays away from DEI Hollywood can continue to be the underground movement during MAGA Trump Nazi Germany of America. 2.0, Nazis Revenge. Alrighty? So that's what's going on. Utah not wanting to comply with Trump, even though they supported Trump and voted for him to be president. Knowing what he was going to do. And now all of a sudden they're not doing it. They're trying to redefine what Trump has made very clear so that they can get away with it. Because 600,000 with only 14 now total? No, they're not complying. They're trying to pretend to comply. That's why they did the 13, is because I've been exposing them over and over and over ever since I got that clip by Cox from the news. Sanctuary state. And people are coming to my channel and they're not making the connection, except for the narcs who spread the word back to the people, and they're doing what they're doing. And so that's all that is. Red, he's an obedient female dog. Her next little pet. And that she can mold in her image, which is what the church is doing to her. I knew there was a connection. I knew it, and there it is. There it is. She committed sin, and now the church owns her. That's why the church demands sexual abstinence in Mormons. Demands that you go talk to your bishop and get graphic with them, so that they own you. And I warn you, you never listen, because that's what Putin does. It's very obvious. You got those cute little Russian honey bunnies who are honey traps. So cute, so deadly. Nikita. Good shows. Movies, TV shows. Femme Nikita. And then the TV show, Nikita. Anyway. Alright, so Utah's federal workers are fired after excellent performance reviews. Because you're not getting it. It has nothing to do with your performance. It has to do with your support for illegals, according to Trump's definition. Utah does not want to get it. We don't understand. Why were we fired? Well, let's go through your records of who you've assisted and who you've let go. There it is. You're not doing your job. Your performance is not good, according to Trump. See this disconnect that's going on? Everybody supported Trump becoming president, and now Trump is president and doing what they knew he was going to do, and they're not happy with it. They're saying, what are you doing? Hello? And seriously, you're going to fool people on this? Well, the church has fooled people, so I guess, yeah. If the church can do it, so can you. And so we've got funding cuts happening. Trump has been shutting down programs that fund his illegals on purpose, because you can't just get rid of everybody because people go into hiding. And so that's why he went into the IRS and to Social Security, is to find out who is getting benefits that shouldn't be getting benefits. And he's cutting those off too. He's cutting off their financing, not just through federal programs, but also directly from government benefits. Shutting it all down, shutting it all off. We knew this. He was talking about it all this time, that illegals are getting Social Security money, that illegals are getting tax rebates and all this, when Musk is the one who doesn't pay taxes. Are you going to pay taxes on all the Dodge money you're getting? Over $100 million so far. And so, yeah, Trump is now talking about rewarding legitimate citizens after he purges illegal citizens on the IRS and Social Security, so that the legitimate citizens can be rewarded. He knows how to do this. He's bribing the legitimate citizens to accept what he is doing. Take the money. It's your non-disclosure agreement. Quit protesting for the rights of illegals. Just so that you know in advance when it happens, if it happens. It's likely to happen. It depends on how fast he can shut down the financing for illegals. But that's what he's doing. And then he'll bribe us. And so HUD contracts also are canceled because illegals try to get HUD housing. All government programs stopped. All illegals getting government benefits stopped, so that if they're still not deported, they will not be given funding. But again, sanctuary state Utah, it's not government run. It's church run. The church is funding the illegals in Utah. The first presidency statement said so. Because you have to join the church. It's all a con, a trap. They want people to come from Mexico, then, oh no, we need money. We go to the government. Sorry, try the church. Okay, I guess we have no choice but to become Mormon in order to survive. And then the church owns you. Because working for the church, you now have your tithing deducted straight from your paycheck. Back in my day when I worked for the church, they asked, I said no. They then got angry, and then they tried other ways to check our temple recommends to make sure we were faithful. He's not allowing us to deduct his tithing from his paycheck. He must be a sinner. And so the work has temple recommend interviews to check to make sure you've got a current updated temple recommend. Oh, dear God, I am glad they chased me out. For my excellent performance. Exact same pattern as Trump. And yet they're complaining about Trump. Awesome. Just awesome. And so, Social media had been bullying kids. YouTube bullies kids' channels, causing suicides, and so the government condemns YouTube for killing children. And so YouTube says, fine, we'll then bully women. Get them to commit suicide. Ban their channels. If you saw that last week, wasn't it? When I did the memoriam of those YouTube women who've been banned. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, if Sister Mendenhall wants to do a fashion try-on, great, I'll take it. But, you know, that's not going to bribe me into being her little lapdog. Just like Trump's money. Yeah, I'll take it. You're going to give me free money? Great. Oh, you want me to be loyal and commit crimes for you? Just like the church. Ain't gonna betray my honor and integrity. If you're going to give me free stuff, okay. But I'm not going to do you a favor, though. And so, yeah, kids are now being bullied at school who are being told they're going to be deported by ICE and they're committing suicide. Just tragic. What's this one about? Bribes. Oh, bribes. Yeah, that's the benefit. And most likely we're going to get $1. Oh, wow, I've got $1. That's more than a penny. That is now banned. Ooh, Mendenhall's gonna be angry.